Topping today's news, what appears to be a domestic dispute between women turns fatal on Cowpen Road. Another life is lost to a traffic accident, the second in the past 2 days. The government taking steps to better protect our fertile fishing grounds from poachers, and the Centerville Primary School officially renamed. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. An adult male, along with 4 women, are in police custody after a fatal shooting incident claimed the life of an adult female around 9 p.m. on Thursday after what appears to be a domestic dispute between women. According to preliminary reports, a group of females, believed to be 4 women, arrived at a duplex apartment on Vispin Road off Cowpen Road and confronted an adult male and a female in their home. It is reported that the male produced a firearm and fatally shot one of the females that came to the home. Subsequently, the police arrested the male resident along with 4 females. Investigations continue into this matter. This now becomes the 55th murder for the year and follows the shooting death of a 37-year-old man on the corner of Market Street and Bahama Avenue on Monday night. Just after 12 noon today, traffic police were called to the scene of yet another traffic fatality, the second in the last 2 days here in the capital. This time, the victim was exiting a public bus when he was struck by a black truck that was trying to overtake. This latest mishap occurred on the busy Carmichael Road thoroughfare at the junction with Jackfish Drive. This becomes the 30th traffic fatality for the year, following the tragic death of Nurse Robin Baincourt, who was struck and killed while exiting a vehicle on Minnie Street north of Balfour Avenue on Wednesday evening. That was this week. There were 51 traffic fatalities in 2023, down from 59 fatalities in 2022. $65 million is lost each year due to illegal fishing. Well, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources is working to combat the major losses within the fishing industry with significant changes to the fisheries regulations. In his contribution to the budget debate, Agriculture Minister Jomo Campbell provided an update on the drafted maritime jurisdiction and conservation legislation, detailing the government's strides in enforcing fishing regulations.
Noted that since the passage of the new Fisheries Act in December 2020, work began in earnest with stakeholder groups from across the fishing industry of the Bahamas, as well as the sports fishing sector, other governmental agencies, and NGOs in reviewing the Fisheries Resources Regulations 1986 and the many amendments made thereto over the years. I am happy to report, Madam Speaker, that the final new draft legislation is now back with the Office of the Attorney General after completion of the final editing by the Department of Marine Resources with a view of enacting of around the 3rd quarter 2024.
According to Minister Campbell, the Department of Marine Resources is set to ramp up its marine patrols to deter illegal fishing with this addition of new patrol, or with an addition of new patrol crafts.
In my mid-year budget presentation, I indicated that the expected delivery of 2 new marine patrol vessels for the DMR to assist them in their work was shortcoming. These vessels have now been delivered and have been put to work, and another marine patrol craft is presently on order and is expected to be delivered in November this year. And in the new 2024 budget year, we intend to order yet another marine patrol craft. Madam Speaker, we take this business of protecting our water serious.
Minister Campbell says the Department of Marine Resources continues to rely on the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and the Marine Action Partnership Project to limit the millions lost to illegal fishing each year here in the Bahamas. During her budget contribution, the Minister of Education, Glenys Hannah Martin, said the government is taking steps to include more things Bahamian in the education curriculum. She had plans to meet with United Nations Education, Science, and cultural organization, that's UNESCO. She was hoping to meet with them this week to begin the dialogue of revising the Bahamas school curriculum. However, she was happy to reveal the first Bahamian history textbook is in the final stages of preparation.
I'm proud to say that the Bahamian history textbook, an indigenous Bahamian textbook compilation, has been completed. Excellent. Content experts, Dr. Roseanne Adley and Dr. Michael Pateman, have edited the work, and since then revisions have been made. Designs are being done by graphic artists, which are being vetted. The book is being edited and proofread by Dr. Christopher Curry and Perlene Baker. In the weeks ahead, it will be forwarded to the publishers and in schools for utilization in September of this school year.
Hannah Martin believes the new Bahamian textbook would help students have a greater awareness of the nation and the journey of Bahamian people. Meanwhile, although much focus will also be placed on science, technology, engineering, and math, also known as STEM, a robotics class is already in motion at C.R. Walker High School. The new curriculum would also include a stronger focus on Junkanoo and marine biology.
The ministry has been working assiduously on Junkanoo curriculum integration. The integration of Junkanoo in the curriculum is expected to happen in September of this year. All curriculum section areas have given input. For example, the sciences, modern languages, visual arts, language arts, modern languages, and building trades. It is anticipated that in the month of November, all levels from pre-primary, I said September, but it's November, from pre-primary through high school will focus on Junkanoo integration. We're also piloting a marine science virtual reality program. It's being developed to expose students to marine science through a virtual reality program. And the ministry aims to partner with a team from Florida International University to facilitate a train-the-trainer workshop. Training will commence in July 2024 in preparation for broad-based implementation in the upcoming term.
According to the Education Minister, the era of social promotion in schools has ended and no student will be left behind as they fill the gaps in literacy and numeracy. And finally, in this segment, 26 years after retiring from the teaching profession, Mrs. Judith P. Thompson was showered with praise and given the ultimate honor for a teacher, and that is to have a school that you dedicated much of your life to named in your honor. We hear more on the renaming of the Centerville Primary School in this next report.
As the now principal of Centerville Primary School, I, Catherine Aretha Claudine Boleg Williams, welcome you to the soon-to-be Judith P. Thompson Primary, where the spirit of Mrs. Thompson will forever guide and inspire us all. You are welcome.
Scores of family, friends, colleagues, and former students attended today's Ministry of Education's renaming ceremony for the Centerville Primary School in honor of Mrs. Judith P. Thompson. Mrs. Thompson gave 30 years of dedicated service to the school, no doubt touching many lives along the way. Prime Minister Philip Davis says it is evident that Mrs. Thompson was born to be a teacher and is more than deserving.
You know, this is an occasion of deep significance as we come together to honor Mrs. Judith P. Thompson, a woman whose lifelong dedication to education deeply influenced the lives of so many persons. There are many adults walking around today who attribute their success, at least partially, to the influence that this remarkable woman had on their formative years as students. Today, we formally rename Centerville Primary School to the Judith P. Thompson Primary School as a lasting tribute to this great educator and Bahamian.
The Minister of Education, Glenys Hannah Martin, also showered praises on the honoree, Mrs. J.P. Thompson, before officially endorsing the renaming of the school that first opened back in 1967 as the Collins Avenue Infant School.
Mrs. Thompson served as the second principal of Centerville Primary School until her retirement in January of 1998. Due to her consistency in her passion, fortitude, and tenacity, and an intent to strengthen the Bahamian public education system and to support the Bahamian child, the official renaming of the Centerville Primary School to the Judith P. Thompson Primary School is most fitting.
When the woman of the hour, Mrs. Judith P. Thompson, took to the stage, she first acknowledged her God for the honor and those students, teachers, and support staff who helped her along the way. She then quoted her favorite scripture, which speaks of one being honored for their efforts.
My favorite scripture verse is Proverbs 3, verse 6, and I quote from the Living Bible. In everything you do, put God first, and He will direct you and crown your efforts with success. And this morning, He has certainly crowned my efforts after 44 years of service to my country, my beautiful Bahama land, and now to have this school, the one and only Centerville Primary School, to which the Honorable Paul Adderley at one time called it the private government school.
The Member of Parliament for the Centerville community, Jomo Campbell, also bringing remarks and congratulating Mrs. Thompson on the renaming of the Centerville Primary School in her honor. You're watching JCN TV News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back with more after these commercials.